Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on the final issue of Crime Syndicate, issue number 6. Now, as you know, the Crime Syndicate are home to the evil versions of the Justice League on Earth 3, and the cover mainly has Ultraman crushing the planet with the Crime Syndicate looking on. And the issue starts off how Atomica and Owlman are riding into space, out from space, with some of Lex Luthor's workers getting away in their escape ships. So of course we see on the ground, Ultragirl is having a go at Ultraman, saying, You're crashing from your Kryptonian high? Your body's betraying you, and I'm going to take you down for good. And this is where you can tell Ultraman feels betrayed, as he wondered where Kara was all this time, and says, Where were you? And ends up destroying the Daily Planet, with the newspaper guys saying, Oh jeez, I hope they already printed tomorrow's paper. So of course we see how Power Ring has taken Superwoman and Foal on an unknown beach. We see how she says, Do you now? I know my mind. I know you're my prisoner. You idiot. You think we crashed on the beach by accident? I controlled our descent. Welcome to Demon Island, which is meant to be the Earth-free version of Paradise Island. So of course we see how Foal manages to break through to Power Ring, convincing him, saying, You cannot turn the ring he wields, has already tried, yet where he stands with me, with justice. And we kind of see how Power Ring says, Don't say her name, after Superwoman tries to convince and manipulates him. We see how Ultragirl is trying to take down Ultraman, saying how he doesn't deserve the symbol, and says how he's an embarrassment. And we kind of see how Owlman and even Atomica try to rope in. Back on Demon Island, we see Foal and Power Ring duking it out. We see how he manages to break off the ring from Superwoman, and Superwoman throwing it away. And of course, turns back to John Stewart. We see how Foal manages to keep Wonder Woman sedated and tries to convince John Stewart to join the good guys, which he says, Thanks, Foal. But ends up getting murdered, saying, But I don't need your pity. Once the voice was gone, there was clarity. John, we were supposed to change the world. And ends up dying. So of course we see how Lex Luthor tries to keep Ultraman away from Ultragirl, and we kind of see how he says, Don't you understand? I'm trying to save you. I understand just fine. The only problem is, I'd rather die than join you. So of course we see how Superwoman, as well as John Stewart, hold down Ultragirl, and says, If Ultraman couldn't beat me, then neither will you. And of course we see how she ends up dying, which angers and kind of makes Ultraman more bitter, knowing that someone he had was now gone, with Lex Luthor saying, Oh no, you can't die. We need you, Kara. We all need you. But turns out it was Atomica. So of course, Ultraman leaves with Lex Luthor. We see how John tries to talk with his daughter that he wants to set things right, and says, Not as long as you're wearing that, and leaves. So of course we see the after effects from Ultraman and Lex Luthor's teams. We see how the Legion of Justice end up joining forces with Jester, who is meant to be the Earth-free version of Joker. We see the Talons getting ready to be led by Owlman. We see how Despero ends up becoming part of Sinestro's new court, And we see how Ultraman as well as the crime syndicate slowly form. And even points out how they're gonna change the world, and they want Jon Stewart to join. And they've now taken over Lex Luthor's headquarters as their own. And the story ending with a guy saying, "Sure, everything's different now. Holy dogs!" And yeah, this is the story. So issue 6 isn't too bad. I think it's a shame they accidentally had to kill off Ultragirl, as it would have been nice at the ending for Ultragirl to sort of join Lex Luthor's team, realizing how far Ultraman had fallen. And it would have been like something like Injustice when Kara joined Batman's team, realizing how far Clark turned to the dark side. So I think this issue still deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. And the series is definitely one of the best. It takes a lot more creative liberties with the whole post-Frontier kind of new multiverse, taking a bit more tweaks and turns, and fixing what things from the new 52 and Rebirth multiverse. So once again, another thumbs up, and the second one. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.